everyone, and welcome to New Trials, the podcast. I'm Preya.
And I'm Melanie.
The New Trials of the card captor Sakura, Syaoran, and Friends is a popular ongoing fanfic by Wishluv, and it's based off of Clamp's card captor Sakura. In each episode, we'll do a deep dive of a new chapter. Let's get to it. So, Melanie, what's your favorite Christmas memory? Could
Oh
be anything
man.
past or recent. What's the one thing that jumps into your mind?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question. Well, I have a funny one and then just like a regular, just Christmas about my family in general is growing up, my mom collected these animatronic Santas. And
Wow.
so yeah. And so we have them all over our house. Like it's what our house is known for. Like when my friends would come over and stuff, we'd have these animatronic Santas like all over our house. And they're not huge. They're just like, little ones but now they're mine and I love them and I have them all scattered throughout my house. So I'm kind of keeping up with the tradition of them. But my favorite one is Santa sleeping in a bed and his little feet are poked out under the covers and he snores and his little tummy goes up and down. It's the cutest gosh darn thing.
I've seen that. That's so funny.
And then my funny story, and hopefully everyone finds this funny, is so on Christmas Eve, my aunts and uncles and stuff used to come over, and all the adults would have hot chocolate with peppermint schnapps in it, and all us kids would have normal hot chocolate. Well, my Aunt Kathy, bless her, loves to put a crap ton of schnapps in her hot chocolate when she drinks it. And somehow our cups got switched. And this was when I was maybe like 11. And I drank her hot chocolate and I didn't think anything of it. And anyway, I got a little bit drunk and they couldn't figure out why I was all giggly and stuff. And then here my Aunt Kathy's like, man, I taste like no liquor in here.
You should have put two and two together.
No one calls CPS on my mom. It was forever.
Honest mistake. Honest mistake.
I tell you. How about you?
Last year, Christmas, it was really special. It was my first Christmas with Cameron, and he spoiled me with so many gifts. It was like the month barely started, and he already gave me an advent calendar and with like little like pots of jams and jellies. So it's like a countdown till Christmas. So that itself was like, oh my gosh, so extravagant. Then he stuffed my stockings with all these goodies, and when it was Christmas Day, it's like he had a great time. So
Aw.
that was really fun, and I bought a special ornament that said "Our First Christmas." So it's really nice memories.
Oh, I love that. Here, you picked a romantic one, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not married.
So today we'll be delving into chapter 15, Hang a Shining Star. This chapter was released in the late fall of 2000. The word count is 6,593, so just a bit longer than the previous chapter. Everyone is in the 8th grade, and it's Christmas Day. And I actually looked at my New Trials real-time timeline to see how many chapters took place in December, and it's 9. Like, if you look at every single chapter and like the month it took place, this December period is the most times that we see like December. But like later on, chapters are going to get longer and the flow of time is going to like make more sense. But I think that's why we're like, yep, still in December. But don't worry, folks, we're at the halfway point until we get to New Year's. Okay, time for the summary. While celebrating Christmas morning, respectively at their homes, Sakura and Syaoran were brought to the past where they witnessed their parents sharing a touching moment and become even closer after exchanging gifts. A handmade scarf for him and the Lee heirloom star sapphire ring for her. Back to the present, Sakura told Kiro-chan about her situation with Syaoran and his mixed messages, as she has no clue about how he felt about her. Sakura found a gift-wrapped box floating outside, hanging by a green balloon. Inside, she found the same necklace she admired downtown. Catching Syaoran pedaling away on his bike, she thanked him, and in his defense, he stated that with a smile that she won the bet about who would catch the twister, so it was only fair. As he left, she told him to look on his bed. Tomoyo caught this on camera with Meilin beside her. Meilin told Tomoyo that Syaoran went to get the gift after the dance and charmed it with a protection spell. Tomoyo told Meilin about her dream scenario of Syaoran giving Sakura the necklace. That night, the majority of Tomoda gathered at the Daidoji mansion for the Christmas party. Fujitaka told a story about the man and the angel where they loved each other but were not able to be together until the man passed away on his deathbed. During the party, Sonomi was startled when she recognized Lee Ryuin in Charon, and Erika went boy crazy over Toya and Yukito. That night, Sharon found the embroidery of a wolf that Sakura made for him. He sensed the power that was inadvertently weaved into it, and he placed it on his wall. Okay. So this chapter really puts me in the Christmas spirit, even though we are recording in January and in real time Christmas is behind us. But
only by a couple weeks.
Only by a couple weeks, yeah. But just the way that you portrayed like Meilin's excitement, that was delightful.
Thanks. I just feel for him, because like she's probably used to spending Christmas with like her mom, and and then Wei's not even there either. So it's literally just them like doing this Christmas together. And I just think that's so sweet that he went above and beyond to try to make it special for her.
And it's so clear that he wouldn't be this festive if she wasn't around.
For sure. He probably would have just moped in his apartment doing like exercises all day, like a little bump.
Probably. I actually forgot that we got to visit Nadeshiko and Miren in this chapter, even though I remember the scene where like he gives her the ring.
Yeah, it's just so funny just to see him being all like, shh, now what about this time? I don't know if I would like a guy putting his hand on my mouth. I mean, I could see that it's romantic, but I would be like, don't put your hand on my maybe since we're post-COVID, now we're like,
Well, I do love the fact that she gives him a scarf, but that was a bold move on Riren to give her the ring. Like the Kali clan would have been so furious. And it's like,
yeah.
Does he know that it's a Five Force treasure? Like where do you think they stand on that? Do you remember?
We also find out later it's an engagement ring too for the Lee clan, and like she doesn't know that, but it's almost like him telling the Lee clan like this is the girl I want to marry too.
Yeah, that's true because it's the name is escaping me, but Chloe's father did give it to his mother, and she was part. Yeah, and that was a Reed giving it to a Lee, and that's how it's with the Lee family right now.
But I'm going as far as your question goes, I'm going to assume that they know it's an ancestor's. Well, I don't know. I don't know if they would know it's a Five Force treasure. Because they definitely know the sword is, right? Or do they not know?
The thing is, though, they always know it as the Five Force scroll, and you'd think the story about the five treasures, it would be passed. The thing is, though, the diamond was lost forever. So I think with the diamond being lost, then the whole thing about, oh, let's bring the treasures together to unlock the whole power, it was just not in the cards.
Or maybe they just like the sword as well. Maybe they didn't realize the significance until the Kaido magician tried to steal it. And then they're like, well, why is he trying to steal it? Then they figure out like, oh, maybe it's these Five Force treasure business, but who knows, Maybe it's like the Horcruxes in Harry Potter where it's just kind of like a legend,
I think that this is a question for Wish Chen.
Yeah, that's a good
because I never thought about it. It's like if Riren is going to give Nadeshiko the ring, it's like, do you know what that is?
Like you must have, but yeah, that's a good question for her.
So back in the present, I thought it was funny that Sakura got rollerblades for Christmas because in Arc 4, she gets rollerblades again for her 17th birthday. And it makes me wonder how many rollerblades does this girl have?
Well, as fast as she has to skate to school every day, I'm sure she wears down the wheels.
True. So we get that scene where Sakura is super confused about Sharon's mixed signals, and this is where we wish we could knock some sense into him.
And she says again, your favorite phrase of, we're not even really friends. As I read that out loud on the audiobook, I was like, oh, Preya.
So, like, we do get the moment where Sharon delivers the necklace with the balloon. It's so sweet. Did you catch
Mm-hmm.
the line about how she dreamed about the necklace?
Yes, I did. And I was going to ask you about it because I'm laughing because the only thing I could kind of think of in my head is because, the diamond was lost forever and then it appears in front of her, So it almost reminds me of how the sword of Gryffindor will only appear when it's needed. I'm
Welcome to
sorry,
the
this is
Harry
my
Potter crossover.
I'm sorry, this is my second Harry Potter mention in this podcast.
I don't know. To me, it goes two ways. One way, like on one hand, it could be her connection with like, the Great Five and how she's a descendant. But on the other hand, it could just be that it's a pretty thing and she wants it.
Yeah. I was always under the impression, and I don't know why, but I thought when they did their whole shopping trip, I always thought in my head that Syaoran bought the necklace then. I don't know why. Because, he stops and looks over his shoulder at it. Like there's that whole scene. And so when Maylin mentions here in a moment that, like, oh, he biked, he went there real fast in a taxi and then he came back all in a huff. And as I was reading it, I was like, I could have swore he bought it because, he talks about how much he doesn't have any money. Maylin's like, well, where'd you spend all this money? So I don't know.
Well, I think like it was a mental note, and maybe it wasn't until the combination of Christmas gift slash, hey, you were the one who caught the twister, and we did do a bet, so this is me like, holding my end of the bargain kind of thing. Like maybe
Mm-hmm.
he always like he put a pin in it and he was waiting for the right occasion, and then this
Mm-hmm.
was the right occasion.
So he's like, I need an excuse to make it seem like I don't care about you too much, but enough to where I can give you this thing that's very meaningful to you.
That's our Sharon.
Oh Lord, this boy.
But like the fact that he gave it to her, I feel that they're transitioning back into friends.
Yes, yeah. Until we hit a bump in New York here pretty soon.
Yeah, yeah, I was thinking about that too, but like and I was even gonna say like in my original notes, so it's like, oh, I think they're transitioning back into friends, but I remember what happened in New York, so maybe that's not the case. But I think it doesn't have to be like a direct like we're not friends, we're friends. I think now we're in the road of like just repairing the damage that
Yes,
Sharon did on a friendship level.
yes, stepping stone in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm really happy that we got Maylin's whole point of view, like her just telling Tomoe the whole story about how like Sharon took a taxi, went downtown, got it, and even put a protection spell. Because like otherwise we wouldn't have known this as the readers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was very clever on Wish Chan's part.
Mm. And I loved your dramatic reading of Tomoyo's fantasy and of how she wanted the exchange to happen. It's like your tone just shifted, and it's like you were reading like a screenplay or something like that. I loved it.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun with that.
It's like director Tomoyo, she takes the wheel.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Because that's what we all wanted, really, with that scene, and then it didn't happen.
So is this Wish Chan's way of giving it to us without giving it to us?
That's our Wish Chan.
Um, so we get a mention of Saint Tail, and I've never watched the anime, but the only thing I know about it is that I'm pretty sure that's where the Mirror of Truth or originates.
Oh, yeah, I've never watched it either.
Mhm. Because in arc two, when we get to see the Mirror of Truth, Wish Chan, she's going to talk about it some more. But this is like I just realized, I think for the first time, that we get three references of the five treasures: the necklace, the ring, and inadvertently, but going to lead to the mirror.
Whoa! Oh, that's such a good pickup. Yeah, because I guess he would always have a sword on him, so that's kind of a given. But oh
Yeah.
my God. No, no, not this last chapter when he was practicing swords with Malin, but oh, that's a good pickup. I had that went over my head.
Like I'm reaching here, like, but I just know because Wish Chan uses like that mirror from Saint Tales, and then with Tomoyo saying, "Oh yeah, that sounds like something from Saint Tail." I'm like, okay, I see, I can pick up what you dropped, Wish Chan. So
Good.
I know it's to mention the mirror exactly, but if you know, you kind of know, you can connect the dots.
And for anyone that might be interested, I just happened to look up what Saint Tail is because I had no idea. But basically, the plot of it is a middle school girl, Mei Mei Hanoka, transforms into the mysterious thief Saint Tail and steals back random belongings that were stolen using magic tricks. She's assisted by her best friend, classmate, and sister in training, Seira Mimori, whose position in the church after school each day allows her to hear the troubles of those who have been wronged and to have come to pray to God. So it's almost kind of like a foreshadow sorta of Kaido Magician too. Sorta.
Yeah. I think she says that like she used Saint Tail as like one of her inspirations to create the Kaiju magician character.
So cool. So cool.
So now we're at the Daijuji Christmas party, and it's actually the one that we mentioned a few podcasts ago when we were trying to like rack our heads and wonder, has there been any other school parties? It's like, well, they're mostly at the Daijuji's place, but I didn't realize
Mm-hmm.
that it was like back to back. Like,
Yeah, yeah. And it's definitely not a school function. It's
mm.
just like a Christmas get together that the Daidojis have. Yeah.
What do you think of Fujitaka's story?
It's you tell me yours first.
Honestly, I just think it's pretty sad for a Christmas story. And it's like the guy had to wait his whole life. And yeah, he's a good person, but it doesn't sound like he found love because he already found love with the angel and he got really old and then he died and then he could be with her. And I think that sucks.
I'm so this is why we're friends. Because it was like, this is the most depressing thing. And all I could think of was, here, everyone's having such a good time at this Christmas party. They're probably telling all these funny Christmas stories. And then here comes Fujata of, there was once a man and an angel. And this is like, we're just teasing Wish Chan. Like, please no. We say this with all the love in the world. And I get what she was doing with it. Like, she's kind of like mirroring him and Nadesco's relationship and how the only way he'll be with her again is when he too passes away. Like, we understand that, but it's funny.
Like, I know it gives them hope, but it's like a real mood killer. And Wyatt is like, Fushitaka, tell the story. Yeah, Dad, tell the story. Kinomoto-san. Like, why are we rooting for this?
Toya the mood killer. Toya's like, let's kill the mood, Dad.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Like, it's a lovely story, but it's like not my favorite kind of story. And it's just sad. It's like I'm a sucker for a happy ending, and I know like he ends up with the angel in the end, but it's like he keeps meeting her, and it's like, why can't we be together? And it's like, no, we can't be together. And like, yeah, I know it's like Fujitaka and Nadeshiko's like reality, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's definitely a bummer.
Oh, it's so funny to me. They're so similar.
So we get a moment where Sonomi makes a connection between Syaoran and Rin, and it's like that clatter that you put in the audiobook really punctuated the moment. And I thought that was really funny because it's like we were all there kind of rooting Sonomi on. It's like, come on, Sonomi, you know this, you can get there, look at him longer. It's like, who does he look like? And then she gets there.
Mm-hmm. My question for you about that is, do you think Ryurin put some type of glamour on Sonomi so she wouldn't remember him. And then maybe she doesn't, like, the glamour like fades for a minute and then she recognizes him because then like a couple sentences later it's almost like her memory like snaps back to like what it should be and she's like, oh well, never mind, or blah blah blah. I forget what the exact line is. But
Honestly, knowing Sonomi, I think she just repressed Ririn from her memories.
Sujata she was stuck with, but that one
Yeah.
she's like deleted.
Yeah, I think she just like cleared the hard drive. It's like, okay, this idiot's out of the picture. He's not gonna bother my dear sweet Deshiko again. And, in comes Fujitaka, and she has like a new target. I really think she just like wiped Ririn out of her memories.
Makes sense.
So when I was listening to your audio and like you were getting to the end, I was actually thinking of Angels You Have Heard on High because it's one of my favorite Christmas songs. And then I hear it play in the background and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's one of my favorites. My question to you
uh,
is that how come you used that instead of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas? Was it because it was too on the nose? Was it because of rights?
it was mostly because of copyright.
Yeah.
I could not for the life of me find a copyright free version of that.
Hmm.
And a part of me thought of maybe humming it softly in the background,
Oh, you
but I
get
was,
dinged.
that's what I thought. And then also I don't know. I was just like, I don't know if I'm confident enough because I was scared my voice would maybe take away from the moment, instead of add to it. So instead I was like just looking up other like copyrighted free Christmas music and I came upon that and I was like, oh, I love that one. And it's kind of melancholy. It fits the mood.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, there's this like really cheesy movie on Netflix called Holiday Engagement. And that's the main character's favorite song. Ever since I watched that movie, it was one of my favorite songs too. So when I heard it, it's like, oh, this is great. And it's like, I know Wish Chan has made lots of references to like Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Even the name of this chapter is Hang a Shining Star. But it's like, I really like the way that you were able to like put in a Christmas song, even though it couldn't have been the namesakes of the chapter.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. And I felt like it kind of added to the scene a little bit, made it kind of special and Christmassy and
Yes, no, like I said, really put me into spirits.
aw, good.
Uh,
I I do want to mention the Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I think it's a little bit too on the nose of how Wish Chan picked it because of the lyrics on it is someday soon we'll all be together if the fates allow. And here pretty soon the fates are going to show up. But yeah, I think it's a little, on the nose. And I think Wish Chan kind of picked it on purpose.
yeah, and we even got instances of like Syaoran and Meilin hanging a shining star on their tree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They get a funny moment of Erica just totally like going boy crazy on Toya, and like all I have to say is hashtag never gonna happen. But there is a little foreshadowing though, because she mentions that she likes older guys, and then we're gonna see her in a relationship with Mike.
Oh my God. I didn't pick up on that either. She
So we,
likes she likes those older types that
yes.
she knows will take care of her because hashtag daddy issues.
But she has to afford a certain lifestyle. It's, so she's bougie like that.
Yay, get your green, girl, get your green.
So we close with Sharon finding Sakura's gift, and I really love the part where he realized that she like infused her power in the embroidery because Sakura herself probably didn't even realize that she was doing that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, and the embroidery will come back to play here in a little bit, but it's good to see it.
Yeah. Well, good things, and some sad things, but then good things after that. So there's no dark forces in this chapter, but we do have Sharon giving credit to Sakura for capturing the Twister, so we love that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And for the fan art spotlight, so in 2012, Wish Chan, she released a Christmas omaki of Syaoran delivering his Christmas presents to Sakura with a green balloon. And Melanie, do you remember when we were talking about the size of the diamond?
There, it's huge.
Yes. Yes. So if you guys take a look at the fan art, a diamond is much bigger than the size of a pinky nail.
Yes. Yes.
So 5 years later, Wish Chan reposted it in fan art form, and she did this to fit the frost prompt of the 100 Themes challenge that I was running like many, many years ago. And it's really nice. It's so pretty to see all the elements come together.
And look at our little stylish Syaoran in his little like beige coat, and then he's got like a zip up cardigan with a tie on underneath. And I love Sakura's outfit. It is so cute.
Yeah. When Wish Chan joined Facebook, she edited that picture just as like, "Hey guys, it's really me, the real Wish Chan. This is my art, and I just made this modified just to show that it's really me and not a fake Wish Chan."
So good. So good. So for some reason in my head, I always pictured the necklace inside of the balloon. And then when the balloon popped,
Oh.
she caught the balloon. Or she caught the necklace. So and so to see it, it's like tied on the box.
Hmm.
Maybe she did that just for the fan art. I don't know. But is that how you pictured it with the box tied to it?
I thought that's how it was described in the chapter.
No, maybe it
Uh,
was.
uh, and the second fan art that I want to highlight is Wishful Thinking by Sume. And here we have Tomoyo and Meilin imagining a much more romantic scenario of Sharon giving Sakura the present.
What we all really wanted.
What I like about it is that how like Maylin was totally on board with shipping SNS. And this is just like, a sign that she's like, even though in this chapter she's like, Sharon, how am I supposed to get over you if you're doing all these wonderful things? But like we do see her that she is in the process of moving on.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And she looks beautiful in that fan art, Malin in particular. Like she's so pretty.
Yeah, so we'll share that on Facebook and Instagram. So we're ready for the author's notes.
All right, it's our first long one, guys. So it says, "Wee! Finally finished with Christmas. Believe it or not, I was planning to have this out last Christmas, Christmas 1999. Right now, it's late autumn 2000, but oh well, I just got in the holiday spirit. Shadon gives Sakura the crystal star necklace. Hee hee. Remember it from chapter 12? Don't worry if you don't. But I bet no one was afraid that Shadon wouldn't give Sakura a Christmas present. Bicycling off as fast as he could. Very Shadon-ish. What's with the embroidery of the wolf? Well, when I first planned it last year, it was supposed to be a dark green wool scarf that Sakura knitted all by herself. Yet the anime had to ruin it. And instead of Sakura making Shadon a yukata for the festival, she makes him a scarf. That annoyed me immensely, ruining my idea. Well, I like embroidery, so do you like Nadesco and Riordan's Christmas? Things seem to be getting better for them. Just in case you don't know, there really is a thing called a star sapphire. It's a round blue sapphire in the light in the shape of a star appears. It's really pretty. The Christmas Carol is one of my favorites. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. And Fujata's story, I made up. What a devoted husband. I have the same for love between angel and immortal. Oh yeah, and Tomeo's version of what would have been the perfect Christmas scene is kind of what I intended for S&S. But I decided that Shadon was just not ready for such maturity yet. Lee, hey! Me, well, you do always set a record for running off in CCS. But I think that was nice of him to make such a nice Christmas for Malin. Xiao Chan's nicer than he lets us believe. Hee hee. Erika must carry on Nakaru's tradition, which brings me to say, watch out for the New York trip in chapter 16. Merry Christmas, everyone. Sorry if you read this when it's not Christmas. Just get in the spirit. Oh yeah, strange ending.
Wish-chan, my apologies again. It's like about your stories. See, and now I know why Melanie had me speak first, because you knew that Wish-chan made that up. I thought this was like some fable that she inserted inside the chapter, but it wouldn't make sense. Like Wish-chan has the she likes drama, she likes the tragedy, she likes the angst.
That's why I said, we were just teasing her. We didn't mean it as anything bad. We're just teasing her.
I love when Wish-chan was like, I wanted Sakura to give Syaoran a scarf, and then Clamp beat me to it, and just shows how in tune Wish-chan is with Card Captor Sakura. I love it.
Preya has been, she talked about this particular thing like episodes ago between the two of us. So it's funny to finally see it like in an author's note.
That's true. I remember this story very well, and I actually mentioned it really early on. I'm like, yeah, in one of the author's notes, you're going to see Wish-chan complain about it. And now we're at that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love her author's notes. It gives me because I did a timeline of when the chapters were released, and it's not always evident because she didn't have a website. She didn't always have it's like update page. So these little author's notes pre Wish for a Star gives us a sense of time and how it's like, oh, she wanted to have it released in December 1999, but it had to wait until fall of 2000. So it just gives us an idea of like how busy she must have been even then.
Yeah, because if she's only got this far and it's been a year.
Yeah, but it just shows her determination and her dedication and her I'm not going to quit on this story attitude, and we love her for that.
Yeah, we appreciate you so much that you've just kept this up, and we're going on 20 years, I think we said.
This is going to be New Trials' 24th anniversary.
Oh my gosh.
September.
Yeah, we appreciate you so much that you've kept going and you're determined to get us an ending,
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
I think I'm good.
You have been listening to New Trials, the podcast, where it must rain for there to be a rainbow.
You've been listening to New Trials, the podcast. Please be sure to check out the audiobook version of this fan fiction that you can find anywhere that you can find this podcast. Also, please be sure to check out the Facebook fan page for New Trials of Card Captor Sakura by Wish-chan, where a big part of our discussions happen nowadays. We also have an email address at ntthepod@gmail.com. Please be free to send us any discussion topics that you would like Preya and I to discuss. And stick around next week when we begin the exciting New York saga trip, which I am so excited for Chapter 16, Running Out of Time.